Rendering this single image in Blender cycles can take around 1 hour to complete. If I want to make a 10-second video animation which is 250 frames, that means it will take 300 hours or up to 10 days to render. However, in today's video, I'll show you how to make it faster. Use your graphics card, if you have one. It's not only going to increase rendering speed tremendously, but it will make your viewport quicker. That will enable you to make more artistic decisions per minute. Definitely will make your process much more efficient and you'll get much nicer work since you can properly see what you are working on. In order to enable your graphics card, go to Edit, Preferences, go to System, choose OptiX if you have an AMD HIP or one API if you have an Intel. Enable your GPU. Usually your CPU is the limiting factor in rendering, so I'll leave that empty, save it and close the tab. After you've enabled your GPU in the system, go to Render Properties, go to Device and choose GPU Compute if you leave it on CPU. Noise threshold. One of the most important things optimizing your scene. When you set it higher, it will have much more tolerance for noise in the scene and to render faster. Most people say the lower it is, the better the quality of the image is, but that's not always the case. In most cases, you wouldn't even notice. If you need to use it, set it a bit higher than default, something like 0.1 would be nice. I don't even use noise threshold in most of my scenes. That's going to save my render time and people don't even notice, so I'm gonna leave that empty. Max samples. By default they are 49.6. It's usually way too much for almost every rendering case scenario. When it's as high as 49.6, it makes the render look way too clean and unrealistic. That's because in real life when you're shooting with a camera, you have always a bit of noise. That's usually why I set between 600 and 700. Leave the minimum samples at 0 and time limit at 0. Enable OptiX Denoiser. That's an AI denoiser that has been developed by NVIDIA. It's much faster and more accurate than the OpenImage denoise. It works only with their graphics cards, so if you have one, that will be an advantage. But if you have an AMD or Intel, choose OpenImage denoise. As you can see, it's for the render, not for the viewport. If you want faster viewport, go to the denoiser on the viewport here. Choose again OpenImage denoise and go to filter and you see it's enabled fast. That's going to usually enable kind of faster rendering on the OpenImage denoise, but it's not faster than the OptiX. Step number 5, white paths. When you scroll down, you'll find white paths. As you can see, by default everything is 12. I'm going to select everything by clicking and dragging. I'm going to decrease it down to 3. The next thing is simplify. That's a great tool for render or viewport speed improvement. Then go to render tab, go texture limit, decrease it to 49.6. If it's higher, it won't make a much difference in the final result, but if it's lower, it can make the textures look pixelated. For the viewport, you can decrease the texture limit to 1024. You can decrease the sharp particles all the way to 0.5 and volume resolution to 0.5. And the max subdivision to 3, and that's going to affect kind of the speed of our viewport. Performance. Go to threads mode, choose auto detect, go to memory, select your styling, and the size should be around 2048. So basically what's going to do is that it's going to separate your render into different parts or tiles, and your computer will have much less work to do. Delete unnecessary objects or details. Use an artist mode wolf to add details that nobody's gonna see for the sake of art. But when you're doing art, especially for Instagram, they view the art on a small screen, so you don't need to go crazy with it. First, it's going to affect the render time a lot when you have those tiny objects. White is fun, we don't need that, so I'm going to delete it. Rendering resolution. When the resolution is higher, the computer will have much more pixels and information to process. Depending on your use case, you might not need 4K renders. So I usually go with 2K. In my use case, the aspect ratio is 1:1, so I'll write 1440 by 1440. That was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, support me on PayPal, links in the channel's about page. Subscribe for more content. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching.